My goal is to actually do 4 in-person events every single year. I also decided that it's okay to do it scared.
Hey there, welcome to the Super Bloom Coach podcast, the show for life coaches ready to 10x their business and bloom into undisputed thought leadership status. I'm Mariah Riona, an award-winning brand designer and certified life coach. I've spent over a decade helping incredible female entrepreneurs like you build luxurious, high-end brands that stand out and attract their dream clients. Each week, I share the latest branding strategies, business growth tips, and personal insights to help you elevate your coaching business and thrive. Whether you're just starting out or looking to scale to new heights, this podcast is your roadmap to becoming a luxury thought leader in your niche. Get ready to learn, grow, and make an impact with the Super Bloom Coach podcast. Let's go.
Hello, hello. I just got back from the most amazing retreat. I spent the weekend in San Diego at the Jamie Berman Abundance Retreat. So I'm still just taking it all in, really reflecting and actually kind of recovering. I think it was just so much. It was wonderful, but just so much transformation that I ended up just feeling really exhausted, almost sick afterwards, and spent the first few days back in bed, had to reschedule all my meetings. But it was such an incredible event, and it just really felt so wonderful to be surrounded by amazing female entrepreneurs, coaches. It was mostly coaches. And for those of you who don't know who Jamie Berman is, she is one of my favorite coaches from the life coach school arena. She really focuses on abundance, manifestation, and money mindset. So if those are things that you are struggling with, I highly recommend that you go check her out. It was just a fantastic weekend. And so I thought that while I'm still on this high from being surrounded by all of these wonderful women, I would share, my tips for networking as an introvert and how I conquered my fear of in-person events. I've spoke about this before. This last year, I've really leaned into in-person events, and that is a new thing for me. I am an introvert. I have anxiety, and in the past, it's been really hard for me to go to these in-person networking events or just in-person events for my business, especially when I'm going solo. I had a very transformative experience when I went in April and became life coach certified through the life coach school with my coach, Brooke Castillo. I went to Miami. I was one of 25 women in the program, and we all became life coach certified together. It was amazing. And that was such, like I said, a transformative experience for me that I decided I was going to really embrace the in-person events, even though they scared me. I have been to 2 now this year, technically 3, because I threw an in-person event as well. And in a previous episode, I believe I had mentioned that my goal is to actually do 4 in-person events every single year. They really have just been so life-changing and business-changing for me. So even though I fully embraced the in-person events and, putting myself out there and meeting new people, it's not easy, especially as an introvert. I had really not done anything for almost 10 years before Miami, just because of my anxiety and feeling so overwhelmed and not really wanting to go network as an introvert. I definitely have had this shift in my mindset and how I approach it. So I thought I would share some things that have really helped me to get better at these in-person events, because I feel like they're so important. So if you're a female entrepreneur, especially if you're a coach and you've been dreaming of going to a retreat or going to a conference or an in-person mastermind, and your introvertedness or your shyness has kept you from going, I hope that these tips are super helpful for you. So let's dive in. The first thing that I learned to do to help me go to in-person events is to really manage my mind around the event. And by that, I mean thought work. I never wanted to go because of my anxiety. And so I had thoughts like, this is scary. I don't know anyone. Nobody's going to talk to me. I might have a panic attack. Do any of these sound familiar to you? These are just crazy thoughts that we have. And you know what? They might be true, but they're definitely not serving me and they're not serving you. So if you've dealt with these little tricky thoughts that get into your head, they keep you from going to networking events and in-person events. I want you to know that these thoughts are optional. You can choose other thoughts. And so when I realized that the event I wanted to attend was just a circumstance, and my thoughts about the event were what were keeping me from showing up, I did a lot of work on my mindset to really change that. And I think the biggest thing that happened for me, the thought that really served me, that propelled me forward, was when I heard that Brooke, my coach, would be doing her last life coach training, certification training, and she was going to be doing it in person in a small group. I had the thought, I have to be in that room. And that was bigger than any other thought I had. I had all kinds of scary thoughts about going to Miami by myself, leaving my babies behind, all the work it was going to take to put that in motion, all the money I was spending, lots and lots of thoughts. But I didn't let those thoughts take over. I really held on to the one thought that served me, which was, I need to be in that room. So my second tip is along the same lines as mindset. And we have all these thoughts, and they might serve us, they might not serve us. A lot of times, our thoughts, especially if they're unconscious, unintentional thoughts, they're really not serving us a lot of the time, right? I still had thoughts about going to these events, and I did get super sort of stressed or anxious in the days leading up to it. And every time I did, I went back to my thought that served me, which was, I need to be in that room. But at the same time, I also decided that it's okay to do it scared. I don't have to be confident to show up. I don't have to be brave. I think just showing up is brave enough. And I really wanted to be there. And so I just thought to myself, I'm scared. This is way out of my comfort zone. I'm very much, like I said, an introvert. I love being at home. I love being in my little safe box. This is outside of that. This seems scary. And all these thoughts are just my brain trying to keep me safe. I'm going to be scared and I'm going to do it anyway. And this approach has really served me in a lot of ways in my business, especially going to these in-person events, but other things that feel intimidating to me. We can decide I'm scared and that's okay. And I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it scared because I think we have this idea, especially if you are into, the law of attraction and manifestation, and we really learn about our feelings and feeling how our feelings guide us. And that's great. I mean, I agree that our feelings do guide us. However, just because you're having a negative feeling, it's not necessarily a bad thing. A negative feeling doesn't mean you should run the other way. And for the longest time, I thought that's what it did mean. I thought that when I felt scared, I needed to turn and run the other way. or when I was anxious or when I was uncomfortable, it was a big like sign telling me, get out of here now. And what I have realized is no, in fact, those are just thoughts. Well, they're actually feelings, right? But the scared and the all the thoughts that lead to I can't do this and I'm anxious about this and all of that stuff. That really is just your brain trying to keep you safe. And if you can do it scared, you're doing so much better than 90% of the world, right? Because most of us do, we have that fight or flight reflex. As soon as we feel uncomfortable, a lot of us just tend to back away. It's sort of a indicator that, oh, hold up, things aren't right here. So if we can lean into it, and as my coach always says, it's just a feeling and you can feel feelings. The feeling is not going to hurt you. And what she talks about is really just feeling it, actually physically feeling it in your body. And when I do that, I realize that, oh, yeah, it is just a physical feeling. And then it passes. And then I can have my other thoughts that are driving me, like, I need to be in that room. So if you are like me, and this was my third event that I went to this year, and I still felt scared, but I did it anyway. I did it scared, and it's totally possible. If I can do it, you can definitely do it.
Hey Super Bloom coaches, let's take a quick break. This episode is sponsored by my exclusive Luxury Brand Leader program. If you're serious about elevating your coaching business, then you have to check this out. Luxury Brand Leader is your chance to work with me one-on-one to totally transform your brand and realign your business for exponential growth. This is the only logo and website design program designed exclusively for coaches that builds your luxury brand and sets you up as the go-to leader you were born to be. Imagine a complete 360-degree luxury brand transformation done in just 90 days. You'll get personalized coaching, cutting-edge strategies, and the exact steps you need to become an unstoppable force in your industry. When you become a luxury brand leader, you can finally start to attract clients who daydream about working with you, and they're willing to pay the big bucks to make it happen. Imagine being able to unapologetically raise your rates, magnetize high-paying clients, create a captivating personal brand, and showcase your high-value expertise. Are you ready for a branding experience that will revolutionize how you show up in your business? Apply to become a luxury brand leader today at mariahriona.com. Remember, spots are limited and they fill up fast. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to transform your business. Apply now.
My third tip is to set a goal. And again, this is just another thought really that served me at all of my events. So I remember when I was prepping for Miami, and, I knew it was going to be an intimate group of women. Well, I actually didn't know it was going to be just women at the time, but an intimate group of people who were all, very interested in what I was interested in, life coaching and getting certified. It was going to be for 5 days. So I just had this goal or this intention that I was going to make friends with every single person in that room. And that really took a lot of that fear away for me, actually, because I thought, yes, it's scary to meet new people, but if I take it upon myself to make new friends and to actually seek out each person and make friends with them, it just like takes away so much stress for me of the unknown of like, oh, I don't know this person. Well, I'm going to get to know them. It can be scary to meet new people, but like friend, that's such a kind and soft word, really. It's not like I'm going to meet people to network with, right? That feels so like cold in business, but I just decided I'm going to make friends with every person there. And I totally did. It was crazy. I made friends with all of them. We have this amazing mastermind group that we have created since our training, since our certification. We stay in touch. I invited all of those ladies, all 25, 24, because I'm one of them, all 25 to my Super Bloom birthday party, and over half of them came. It was incredible. So I went in scared. I did it scared, and I walked away with 24 new best friends. So I hope that that thought and that intention serves you. If that doesn't work for you, I do really like this idea of just setting a goal or an intention and remembering that that's why you're there. So when I went to Jamie Berman's retreat just this last weekend, she had us all set an intention for the retreat. And we all had our own individual intentions, but the intention for the entire group was expansion. And it was really fun to just lean into that and have that as sort of a theme and something that we kept thinking about throughout the week. My fourth tip is to bring business cards. This is huge. I hear all the time. So I'm a graphic designer, obviously. And I hear all the time how people are like, oh, print is dead. All the more reason, if everybody is online, everybody's got their website and their social and all of that, all the more reason to bring a beautiful business card with you, or not just a business card, but a whole stack, and hand them out. They're a great way to connect with people. And because they're not as popular anymore, I think it's really nice to have really great business cards. You're no longer like, if you hand somebody a business card, it's no longer in a stack of 1,000 other business cards. My suggestion, and I tell this to all of my luxury brand leader clients, is when we make business cards and any sort of printed material for your brand, we really try to make it as luxurious and as elevated as possible. The business cards that I choose for my clients and for myself, they're a really gorgeous heavyweight paper. They have beautiful finishes like gold or silver foil, or like textures and gloss and all of that. They're really more elevated so that it's something that you can hand to somebody and they actually like, it's tactile. They take a moment to digest it, and it sort of sticks with them. And you're already setting the tone right there that you have an elevated brand, a luxury brand, just from that initial interactions. Highly recommend that you take business cards. I always have them on me so that people, you'd be surprised, people ask a lot still too. My fifth tip is to bring snacks. I get so busy and really so excited with these events once my nervousness is all leading up to it, right? But then after I'm there, I'm usually having a great time and meeting new people and really enjoying it. And so I can get so busy that I end up accidentally skipping meals. Or, you might have an opportunity pop up. Like I've been to conferences before where it's just all of this amazing education all day long, and you don't want to miss anything. So take snacks. I would say that I overpacked snacks when I went to Miami, and I definitely underpacked snacks in San Diego this last weekend. So I've got another retreat coming up in November, and I'm going to make sure that it's better to have too much than too little. So I'm going to have my snacks with me. I just want to make sure that I'm taken care of and I can really focus on the task at hand, which is, connection, making friends, and sort of elevating my business in this in-person container. So my sixth tip is, if you feel nervous about going to these in-person events, or if they feel a little intimidating to you, bring a friend. You don't have to bring a friend. You can do it scared, but I went to Miami and didn't know anyone, and we didn't even connect beforehand. It was crazy. I met everyone there. But when I went to San Diego just this last weekend, I actually asked my really good friend and client, Lindy Yoshida, to come with me. And we had a blast. It was really fun. We shared a hotel room. What I liked about this is we were going into a group that was already more established. Jamie Berman invites all of her clients and like mastermind clients to these retreats. And so a lot of these women already knew each other. So it was nice to not be the, brand new person all on my own. I brought Lindy with me, and of course, everyone was so welcoming, and we got to make friends and meet people straight away. But it was really nice to have someone with me. And so Lindy lives about an hour away, so we're actually able to fly together. It was super fun. It took a lot of pressure off. I did feel less anxiety just having a buddy there with me. But I also know at this point, the more you do it, the easier it gets. And I know that I could have done it by myself, but it was just kind of more fun to have my friend there with me. I even went to a local networking event that's just like a little evening gathering. And I brought my neighbor with me who's starting her own business. And it was really great for both of us. And we'll definitely be going back to that. So consider taking a friend. I think that is super helpful when you're feeling overwhelmed and intimidated by these in-person events. My seventh and final tip is to be gentle with yourself. Be aware of what you need to really thrive. I am an introvert, and while these events are amazing for me and I just love what I get out of them, it is a lot, just a whole day of interacting with people and talking and really being sort of like on where, I have to just be my biggest, best self and be taking it all in. It's draining. It's actually hard for me because I don't want to miss out on anything. I definitely have FOMO when I'm in these groups, but I know that I need time to recharge. I'm really good about that. When I'm at these events, I will go back to the hotel room for a couple of hours, and meet up with people later if I need to. It takes me time to recharge. So I build in that time. I make sure that I don't push myself too hard. I also want to remind you that you don't have to have like a huge win for the in-person event or the networking event to be a quote unquote win. Just like life, I think these events can be 50-50. My coach talks about that a lot, how it's 50% good and 50% bad, right? We can see it, or 50% positive and 50% negative. And so we can approach these events like that too. And like, if you just have a few really great takeaways, I think it's a win. Or if you make a few great connections, I think it's a win. You don't have to expect to go there and book out your calendar with clients or, make all the connections you need to make for the whole year. Just go and don't put so much pressure on yourself and what you're going to get out of it. Go and enjoy it. And as you do it more and more, I think that's really key. I think if you just have one event that you're going to and you have a lot of pressure on it, it can feel like you need to make the most out of it for the whole year. I really like this approach to always have another event lined up. And then, you just enjoy the event that you're at. You get out of it what you're meant to get out of it, and then you move on to the next one. So those are my tips for networking for introverts and how I conquered my fear of in-person events. I hope that was super helpful for you, and I will see you in the next podcast.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Super Bloom Coach, the podcast for life coaches ready to 10x their business. If you enjoyed today's episode, I know you'll love my free course, 5-Figure Clients, the secret to attracting high-ticket coaching clients. Inside, I'll show you how I went from attracting bargain hunter clients to exclusively booking clients at a 5-figure price point. If you're ready to start working with clients who understand the tremendous value you bring to the table and to stop working with clients who don't, then this course is for you. Over 4 days, you'll learn why offering a high-ticket service is better for you and your client, how to craft your irresistible high-ticket offer that practically sells itself, and the 2 things you need to convey in order to sell high-ticket services. Also, how to position yourself as a luxury brand leader so you can charge a premium for your top-notch services. Sign up now at mariahriona.com/free-course and start attracting those high-ticket clients today. Don't miss out on this valuable opportunity to elevate your coaching business. Get instant access to your first lesson. And before you go, make sure to subscribe to Super Bloom Coach so you never miss an episode. We've got some incredible content lined up to help you 10x your coaching business and achieve your dreams. If you found value in today's episode, can you do me a quick favor and leave a review? Your feedback helps me reach more coaches like you who are ready to elevate their business. Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you next time.